Hello, beautiful souls. I hope you're doing well. Today, another transmission from the Mella Collective, who is my galactic soul group, and that from which I receive transmissions that are not channeling, neither clairaudience, but simply a connection to my heart and to the quantum entanglement of our souls. Forms of kind of bundles of information I receive that inspire some those transmission in my own words. When I asked for a message today, the transmission, what they told me was the phrase that came was, "Who are you?" And so at first I was like, "What do you mean? Who are you?" Then I looked outside, and in front of my big window in front of me right now, it's autumn, it's fall, and a lot of the leaves are falling from the trees, and there is now just a couple of yellow leaves on the tree in front of my window. And suddenly it hit me. When they said, "Who are you?" was what is beneath all the noise that we think we are. And like the autumn leaves that fall one by one with wind, with weather, with rain, when things fall apart, but also when we liberate, from ourselves all the little elements of what we were programmed to think that we are, then we realize that what we truly are is deeper. It's hidden within us, but it's always there. So the invitation of today is actually to consider going into the inner journey, as always. I keep repeating this. Doing the inner journey of healing and transmutation that will help you, like the leaves on the trees, during autumn, to lose one leaf at a time, one programming at a time, one trauma at a time, one false belief at a time, to just fall down. And at the end, you will be left with a tree, a bare tree, a little bit like a skeleton of a tree, which will be the essence of what you truly are and who you truly are. And that is your soul. Because you're not that body, you're not that mind, you're definitely not that ego, and you're not all the false beliefs that the system, family, society, everything has told you that you were, never asking you who you truly were, and just trying to impose this false knowledge on yourself. But that's okay, because this is a big part of your mission on this existence, on this incarnation on Terra, is to remember who you are. And so by doing that inner work of taking one layer out, one leaf out of the tree branches at a time, you end up with what you truly are. You can really align with your essence. You can hear your frequency. You can feel it in your heart. And you know, like you've never known anything in your life with as much certainty, who you are. And you're much more complex than you think, because as a soul, you're multifaceted. You're a multidimensional soul, meaning that you have many facets. You also have a shadow. So you're not just light and love and rainbows and unicorns. You also have darker sides within you, which often comes with the ego, the little narcissistic ego thing that you can keep under reins, like I've said in the last transmission. You can just be yourself, but remembering that you're very complex, very multidimensional. You're not just one thing, because in this world, you were programmed to think that you were just one thing, but you're much more than this. But you can realize that only when you stop the noise, you go within, and you do the healing work, the transmutational work, and you not get rid of, You face each of your trauma. And by doing that, you transmute them and you're able to move on to something else to heal, something else to heal, something else to heal. Another leaf that falls from the tree, another leaf that falls from the tree. And in the end, you are that perfectly centered you. And that is priceless because when you're there, you don't need noise, you don't need drama, you don't need words, you don't need attention, you don't need validation, you don't need anything else than just be, and you're in joy, and you're in a high frequency. I hope that helps. Have a lovely day.